Good morning, people. Super to be with you. We're talking about Mark chapter 12, and I want to take you to verse 41. It's the last section of chapter 12. A great story. Jesus is standing at the offering place where people would come in and give their tithes and their offerings, and it was a place of great feeding of your ego, where people would come in and they would flash the cash, man, and they would put it out in front of everybody to see how much they could give, and they were there to be recognized for the amount of money that they put into the offering plate. And Jesus took one look at this and he was unimpressed until he saw a lady, just a little lady, a poor lady. And this lady was probably looking around at the people around her thinking, oh no, man, all the rich guys are here and they're going to give mega times more than what I'm able to give. You know, is there any way I could get out? Or is there a way that I could just make my offering and not be seen by these people? And yet she made her offering. Jesus saw her put 2 little copper coins into the offering. And the disciples probably would have said, hey, Jesus, you see that? Oh, Jesus, she could have done, you know, that is really just not good enough. 2 little copper coins. And amidst all those who were flashing the cash and exhibiting themselves as to how much they had put in the offering plate. Sickening stuff. And when Jesus saw this, I think there was a righteous indignation rising up within him. And I don't think he said these words passively, but he said to the disciples, and let me read it to you, Mark chapter 12. And Jesus said this, calling his disciples to him, Jesus said, I tell you the truth. Now, whenever Jesus says that, you better sit up and take attention, pay attention. The poor widow has put more into the treasury than all the others. And they all looked at each other and said, Jesus, you obviously didn't see what she did. She put 2 copper coins, Jesus. The others were flashing big money into the offering. Jesus, she put next to nothing in there. That's not going to make any difference in any budget anywhere. And Jesus then went on to explain. He says, they all gave out of their wealth, but she has, out of her poverty, put in everything, all she had to live on. What an incredible lesson. Probably left the disciples dumbfounded as to think, wow, this helps us to reevaluate our look at giving. You know, there are people who give because they have plenty, and I love that. That's wonderful. But they have plenty. They're not giving out of everything, but this woman gave everything she had. And I would surmise, people, that she did it joyfully. You see, a sacrifice, as we spoke about on Sunday, we spoke about this as a sacrifice is only a sacrifice when you give it begrudgingly, or when you give it to something that is not really worth it. But when she was giving her all into the offering, I bet you she was saying, I can't wait to give this offering to the church or to whoever the religious order was in those days. I can't wait to give this offering to God. And even though it's everything, I'm trusting God to feed me, to keep me, to help me along the journey of life. This was a great statement of faith. And Jesus is attracted to that kind of thing. Now, I know in a world where there's so much materialism and the world has gone crazy on this doctrine of you know, you give God $10, he'll give you $100 back. I don't buy that stuff. But I want to suggest to you, God loves a generous giver. And God will honor those who honor him by giving. But when you give as she gave, you get the applause of heaven. And I can think of people who do this today. You know, people who do this today, and I just get this picture in my mind of heaven and the angels applauding what that person has done, to say, well done. It's not about the money. It's about the statement that you're willing to trust God for everything. Now, that's what this is about. And I would suggest to you that this is an important lesson for all of us to learn about God being number one in everything. Yesterday we spoke about loving God with all our heart, soul, mind and strength. Here's the proof. She did just that. Think about that today. You have a good day. Bye-bye.